Told you we were gonna talk about it. I told you we were. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we got a couple of things we got to talk about today. All right. That's right. Yeah. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to yet another live stream. Told you all that we would be discussing more about the man, the myth, the legend, the Batman himself. And we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about this topic. We're going to talk about it for a couple of reasons. Because I think that everybody, and I mean everybody, in part of their life needs to be a little bit like the Batman. And we can go in depth to it. So let me see, get set up here. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay. So the Batman. Why are we talking about the Batman today again for another live stream? I can explain this. First thing I want to do is I want to introduce myself here. All right. So welcome back to the Wealth Forge. All right. My name is Jay. You can call me Jay. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off by saying this is not a live stream for people, for individuals that are lacking the self-motivation that's needed to progress in this thing that we call life. All right. What we have here, what we have in front of us on a daily basis is an opportunity to advance, an opportunity to improve, and an opportunity to be who we were meant to be in this life, right? What you choose to do with those opportunities is going to determine where you're going to get at in life. Like, I find myself, I come from a poor background. I didn't have much growing up, and everything that I have in my life, I had to make it for myself. I had to make decisions for myself. I had to make choices for myself. And I had to do those things. I had to acquire skills. I had to acquire resources. And I pulled all of those things together to build me the life that I have now today. And that continues on a daily basis. Like on a daily basis, this is something that we constantly strive for. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're not here, and I say we, but me talking from my personal story, I'm not here today because I sat back and let life just happen. I'm not one of those people, and there's a lot of people in this world who are not like that. So I don't have the luxury of having rich parents. I don't have the luxury of falling into just pure luck and blah, blah, blah. I had to go out and make things happen for myself in order to acquire, and have the things that I have to this day. You understand? So, all right. I am a huge Star Wars fan. I also like DC Comics. I like my old school, like Nintendo games. I like my old school Sega games, all this stuff. As you can see, I got Grogu over here. We're talking about Batman today. Later on this week, I'm going to have some stuff here on the walls to better portray that, my personality. I like anime. I'm not super deep in anime, but I can respect it. And I like Game of Thrones. I like all this stuff, right? And I'm saying this because I want you guys to get why we're talking about this, because I think like this, because these are my superheroes. These are my heroes. These are my people that, have inspired me to want to be great. These are the people that have inspired me to want to do better in my life. And me wanting to do better in my life and seeing the results that I've gotten from doing better in my life is inspiring me to pass that on to you, if that makes any sense. So, that's just, what I want to be able to portray to you all. Let's see. So now that we got that out the way, let's get into our talking points and our topics. Okay. The first thing I want to do is talk about the Batman, and I'm going to talk about why he's important. Okay. So, finding inspiration and looking at that and just life itself it's kind of hard to do. And it's hard to do that because the world is set up that way. The world is cold. The world is not going to be your friend. And the world doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about if you get hurt. It doesn't care about who gets hurt in the process, because life is going to happen. Right. But when you think about a character like Batman, you think that, especially like knowing him, just the brand, the name, the Batman, Bruce Wayne, Batman, there is a terrible start to his life. Granted, he's the child of billionaires. It doesn't escape the fact that life still happens to all of us. And I find inspiration from this because I see this as an opportunity for us, for us to not stop making excuses about what we can and can't get. Oh, I was dealt a bad hand in life. Like, okay, but you could still have it worse. Like, you could have it worse for a lot of different reasons. You could have it worse because you have some physical limitations. You could have it worse by having some mental limitations. And you could have it worse by simply just not even having any ambition. And this is something that, you guys got to understand that these type of things, they do happen. They happen for a reason. All right. So, yeah. So the goal today for what we're going to be talking about, the goal here is to explore how we can apply the principles of Batman in our own lives and achieve our goals with that purpose. That's the goal of today's live stream. And I know I just came at you guys kind of random, but I'm trying to get some reps under my belt here because I'm going to continue to improve. We got music on the way. We got some other decor on the way. I spent all day trying to improve the audio, so I hope the audio has been improved since the last time. And yeah, we're just continually getting better every single day. All right. And I want to be that. I want to show you guys that it is possible to get the things you want in life, but you got to go. All right. So let's talk about this first segment over here, okay? All right. So you guys, as you guys might know, that the legend of the Batman starts like a long way to go. And if you already know, that's good. But if you don't know, I'll give you a quick rundown. Batman is really Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, as a child, was the son of Thomas Wayne and Martha Wayne. One day after a show, they were walking down an alley, and some guy comes up and robs them. Well, in the process of robbing them, what this robber ends up doing is he kills Martha and Thomas Wayne in front of Bruce Wayne and leaves him to live. Well, when they left him to live, what happened is he became an orphan, and he was being raised by his butler. And out of this, with this anger, with this hatred, and with all of this going on inside of him, because you could understand how that would affect. I believe he was 8 years old. You could understand how that would affect a child watching his parents being murdered in front of him, and seeing that, watching that, and hearing that happen. That right there in itself screams drama. That right there in itself screams trauma. And anything like that, people today will start using that as an excuse to keep themselves held back in life. And that is not how we're doing things. That is not how we're doing things at all. And the reason we're not doing things that way is because, what we're trying to do is we're trying to use this stuff to project ourselves forward. We're using this stuff to project ourselves to a place that is not going to hold us back in life. We're using this stuff as energy, as fuel to keep us striving, to keep us thriving, right? Because that's the overall goal that we're trying to make here, right? So when I come to, listening to the Batman, and I hear that his, origin as Bruce Wayne, watching both of his parents being murdered and then being raised by his butler, as some billionaire kid, and then growing up, he decides that he wants to start fighting crime, right? And the characteristic here that I want to make sure that I stay on top of is how he turned that negative energy into a symbol of like hope and inspiration and determination, because he saw what happened to him. And he said that, like, hey, man, I don't want that to happen to anybody else in this world. I don't want anybody else to go through that. I want to rid this city of all of the crime that I can. I want to make it to where nobody is going to be able to cross that line. And this is how he became a crime fighter. This is why this is the lesson that we're taking from this. This is the lesson that, we're looking at. And we're saying that, we need to get it together. We do. Because look at my life. I started my life off with nothing. I couldn't afford any of this stuff I have in here, any of this setup, none of it. I could afford none of it. The car that I drive, the lifestyle that I live, the family I take care of, the family I support, none of this stuff is possible if I don't get out and make something of myself and make something happen. And I want you all to kind of see this. I want you all to see that it's not about where you started, it's about where you're going. Because if you're going places, if you're going to a place that's in your mind, the path of vengeance, the path of righteousness, the path of using whatever it is that tore you apart, right? Using whatever it is that tore you apart and taking that and using that energy to propel you forward, then there's nothing that can stop you. All right. And this is why we use the Batman as that example, because this characteristic is something that was like ingrained at the bottom of who he was. Batman was a part of the Justice League. And if you don't know what the Justice League is, it's a league. It is a group of superheroes with extraordinary powers, strength, magical abilities, flight, and all of that. A group of individuals. Batman, he didn't have any powers. The only thing he had was his mind. And that's the only thing really that we need. That's the only thing that I needed. And that's the only thing that you need. You don't need to be born into wealth. You don't need to be inherently strong. You don't need to have magical powers, an inheritance. You need this. Because this right here is the only thing really that's going to be able to make you, who you want to be and how you want to be that. There's nothing that you can sit here and tell me that isn't possible without this. You have to have this. Because this is all Batman had in the Justice League. And he was the member. He was the guy that everybody looked to for advice. He was the one everybody looked to when there was a problem. Because he was the one that they know that can solve it. And this is the message. This is the message. Take a second right now. And if you're here, you're in the comments, you're watching this later on, I need you to understand that what we're doing here matters. I need you to understand that the things that we're talking about, these things matter. They matter because if you're looking at yourself and you're like in your early 20s, this is the time that you have to use to try and figure things out. You try things, you fail at some things, you figure things out, right? Me, I'm 30. I'm 30 years old. This is not the time for me to be trying to figure out what kind of career I'm going to get into. That's stuff I figured out in my 20s. I figured that out in my early 20s, what career I want to get into. And then I figured out and I started working myself through that. At 30 years old, I should not be trying to do that. And this is why we come back to the Batman part of it. At 20 years old, you have to figure out what it is that you're going to be determined on doing. You have to be the one to say, I'm not going to let my past traumas be the thing to hold me back in life, because the only thing holding you back in life is you. It is. I could say the same thing as I sit here. What's stopping me from live streaming? It's me. What's stopping me from, exercising like I'm supposed to, eating like I'm supposed to? It's me. It's all me, and it's all you. Sit here and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. If you're talking about how you want things in life and you're talking about how you don't like this, you don't like that, where's your roadmap? Where's your plan? What is your inspiration at? You talk about no motivation. Well, because of what happened to you as a child, because of what happened to you last week, it doesn't matter. The only thing that truly matters is what you have here in your willpower and your determinedness. So how do we apply these things to real life? Okay. How do we apply those things? All right. Okay. We have a couple options here. If you didn't already know, we have a few options that we can go about doing. All right. Okay. We're talking about Batman. The Dark Knight. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. It's the iconic slogan, the iconic line that Batman said. Do you see how, like, I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. Three things. Three things, very simple. Apply this to your life. I am a winner. I am not going to let these things hold me back in life. I know what I want. As a man, there's nothing more important. Well, I say nothing more important, but you can't just not have this. You can't not know what you want to do. You can't not know where you're going to go, because everybody's looking at you and everybody's like counting on you to know what it is that you want to do or where you're going. And applying this lesson like to your life, applying this to like all of our lives, is going to make things better. Like, I'm looking at myself now, right? In comparison to Batman, I know who I am. I know who I want to be. And I know how I'm going to get there. And if there's bumps and stuff like that, all these things like along the way, that's a whole nother story. But that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is how we're going to progress things. We're here to talk about how we're going to keep going, how we're going to progress to a different way. You know what I mean? So we're using this talking point as Batman to take these lessons and apply it, because if he can do it, you can do it. You're made for more than this. You're made to be more successful than you think you are. You are. And tell me I'm wrong. Like, literally sit here and tell me that I'm wrong about that. I'm not. You know that you're capable of doing amazing things, but you need to define those things. 1, 2, 3. Apply it. I am this. I want to go here. I'm going to do this about it. Like, that's it. You talk about your determination. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. How long? How long does it take? Let's talk about determination. Yeah. Okay. Our determination is the way I look at it is like this. All right, let me sit back a little bit, because I want to talk about that. My determination is ultimately fueled by the thing that I want and the impact that it has. Because I could sit here and say that I want $1 billion, and that I'm determined to get that. But if I'm not staying up at night, like if I'm not waking up in the middle of the night thinking about this stuff, or in the middle of a conversation with somebody, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about whatever this goal is, I'm not really determined now, am I? And I know I'm going to get some guys out there saying like, oh man, you're full of crap, whatever. But let's really, for real. If I was determined to do something, there's nothing that's going to get in my way of like stopping me from doing that. I mean, can't you guys got to respect that. There's no way you can like tell me any different. And if so, I mean, let me know. Because if I'm crazy, then I'm, it is what it is. But determination is it's like you be determined to play more Call of Duty. You're determined to eat more. You're determined to hang out with your friends more and do meaningless things that don't really matter. You're determined to do all that stuff. I mean, the average person is. You're determined to do all these things at what cost? For what reason? It doesn't make any sense. Because if it's not related to the goal or not an active way of mitigating the work-rest cycles, then it doesn't mean anything. And that's what the determination is that I get from Batman. His determination was to rid the city of crime. And Batman himself, he knew that he can't completely destroy and get rid of crime. I mean, there's no sense in all of that. But mitigating it, being able to control it, to make a difference, to put his name out there that people wouldn't even think twice about going to commit a crime without being in fear of the Batman coming to get them. Now, would they? They wouldn't. Of course not. And then they have all these crime syndicates that come together and all this stuff because they want to be able to stop the Batman, because they want to be able to do their crime without being interfered with the Batman, because of how determined he is to rid crime. It's so determined to do it that everyone else around him can see it, and they see exactly what it is that he's doing, and they say, "Oh, I ain't messing with this guy, man. Because I'm not getting in his way." That's the level of determination that you can apply to your life. Because if they say, like, for example, let's just say I want to start a YouTube channel, just like this one right here. And I say to myself, I'm determined to do it. I am determined. Okay. What steps have you made today? Nothing. Okay. What steps did you make yesterday? Nothing. Week before that? Nothing. So then when word gets out that you want to do a YouTube channel and people put out there like, okay, well, what has he done? What proof, evidence, what like ground have you broken in order to make it to this thing? People are going to look at you like you're a joke. I mean, let's be honest. If somebody came to me and said they wanted to do something, and every time I ask them about what they've done with it and they tell me nothing, or same thing as last week, and I say same thing as last week because let's just say it wasn't even working. So I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you say. It's all about what everybody else around you is seeing, because your results and the way that you're chasing this goal and the way that you're pushing for all of it's going to be mostly determined by what you're putting out, like your outcomes. Like, can I go back and look at your YouTube channel and see hundreds of videos? Okay. Can I go back at, looking at your resume and saying that, okay, you've acquired skills, certifications, and things like that? If I look at your resume and say, okay, have they completed any college? Do they have any experience? What have they been doing in order to improve themselves? And if the answer is nothing, then you can't say you're determined to do it. Maybe it's like one of those things like you want to be determined, but you really can't. And that's just how I see that, like that's ultimately like how I see that. And the reason I see it like that is because it's the truth. It is. I mean, start applying that to your life right now. Say you want to determine to do something. Get determined, make a plan, and then stick to it. Because that's what Batman would do. Yeah. So, for me, I love the Batman. I really do. Batman and then Superman are like my favorite DC characters for the good guys. I personally love all the bad guys, like Darkseid. He's probably my favorite DC character. But I look at this, right? Okay. Batman's my favorite. Number one. I mean, look at this. I mean, for real, like, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. There it is. I mean, seriously, look at this. I mean, come on. Does this not look cool? Just cape flowing in the wind. All that good stuff, right? Yeah. I love that. Number one, there's a cool factor to it. The cool factor is probably the first thing. You got the cool factor. And then on top of that too, right? You look at him and you think this person does not waste time. This person does not have time to waste time. He doesn't have time to lollygag. He gets the job done. And even when he loses, he still finds a way to win because he learns from his mistakes. And this is probably why, like me personally, I'm inspired by Batman, because Batman's not perfect. He's been beaten. He's had his back broken by Bane, a souped up luchador. What is it, luchador? I mean, like he got his back broken. He's been buried. He's been beat. He's broken almost every bone in his body. He's lost. And still, he finds a way to come out on top. And he doesn't just come off on top because he wants to. It's because he learns from his mistakes and then applies the lessons that he learns to life and then starts moving forward like another in a positive direction. Like, me personally, how could you not find that, in my opinion, how could you not find that inspirational? Because I find it very inspirational. It's very inspirational to me because I'm sitting there living it. And I don't want to be in a place where I don't think like that. Because the second I stop thinking like that, that's when I start noticing that, I'm starting to slack. I'm starting to lag behind and everything like that. Like, I'm trying to figure out how I can better myself. Even with this live stream, like I'm learning more and more every day. And then I'm trying to apply the things that I learned, the way that I upload videos, the way that I talk about things, the way that I do everything. Like, it just, to me, it's very inspirational. And it's what I want to continue to do, like in my life and everything that I do. It's like that for a reason. Okay. So. Okay. I'm gonna, let's see here. We're gonna wrap this up here in just a little bit, because I do have other things I have to do tonight. But I want to go over just some of the closing points here, and I want to go over things like that I want you to take with you. And actually, I would actually like to hear what you have to say. If you're watching this now, or if you're gonna watch this, in a couple months, things like that. I want you to understand that, number one, you need to, in three things. I am vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman. This is what you need. This is how clear your goals need to be. I am a winner. I want this. This is how I'm going to get it. And then just go for it and do that. Batman's not at a place where he's going to be, messing around, playing games and all this stuff. It's straight to work. It's getting after it, right? And it's not lollygagging around and playing this game. You can't keep playing this game. You play this game called life. You keep playing with it, and before you know it, you're going to be old and have nothing to show for it. And I'm telling you, every single day, especially for you guys that are like in your 20s and stuff, man, keep playing. Keep acting like this is a game. Keep acting like you have forever, and keep acting like you're going to be young forever, because you're not. You're going to wake up one day, you're going to be 18, and then you're going to look up, you're 25, you look up again, you're 30, you look up again, you're 45, look up again, you're 50. Because life goes like that. Especially if you're just sitting back and thinking that you can just, reap the benefits of whatever. You got to work at it. You got to work, and you got to work. Find your determination. Don't worry about your past. Don't worry about what you've been through. Keep what you have. Take what you have went through in your past and use that as fuel to energize yourself to start moving forward, in life, to moving forward and accomplishing your goals and everything like that. All right. Don't let any of this stuff hold you back. Don't let any of this stuff hold you back, guys. None of it at all. All right. So yeah, don't do that. You guys got this. You got this. And you don't need me to sit here and tell you anymore. The Batman is a very, very inspirational character. Use your pain. Become the vengeance. Become the knight. Become the Batman. Your Batman. Your version, yourself of what Batman is. You do that, you're going to be a winner. You're going to have results. And you're never going to let failure hold you back. All right. I think that's all we got tonight. Let me know how you guys think about the Batman and all that kind of stuff, man. And we're going to keep doing stuff like this. All right. I'll see you.